Okay, so this is a video for rolling in the deep, and what I'm going to do is I want to take you guys slowly through the chords, and I want to talk to you about, you know, some of the finger movements you have to do, things to think about, things to prepare for. I want to, wherever possible, give you shortcuts to get to these chords to make it as easy as possible for you. So, the chords that we have, I'm just going to take you through one at a time. So we start with A minor, okay? So we're on A minor here. You can make your A minor chord. And the next chord is E minor. My middle finger can stay right where it is, and it does. And I lift up the other two, and I put my first finger underneath. You know, I may have to sort of slide it a little bit to get it in place, but I'm sort of pivoting on that middle finger, okay? So there's my E minor, okay? Now, to get to G, I can leave my first finger down, and I spread those fingers to get to G. And then I lift them and pull the middle finger back for E minor, and then back to G again, pivoting on that index finger. Now for A minor, all you can do is go back and completely reform the chord, which means if you're having trouble with that, what you want to do is you want to isolate A minor. And you can either do that by doing what I talk about knee tap technique, where you touch your knee and then you grab the A minor over and over. The other thing you can do is you can actually go from the chord you're transitioning from. So you've got a G, and then go back to A minor. And that's an important thing to be able to do in this song, so you may want to try doing that. Go to G, and then go to A minor, and there's nothing that you keep constant there. There's no finger that you pivot on, so you have to reform each chord. So try and practice going back and forth between G and A minor, and that's going to make the whole song, the chorus, everything a lot easier for you. Okay, let me do it again. A minor, you leave your middle finger down, you pivot on it, your first finger comes underneath for your E minor. Okay, now your first finger, index finger, stays down, you pivot to G. And we pivot back to E minor, first finger staying down, back to G, first finger down, and then completely switching back to A minor. Okay, middle finger stays down, pivot to E minor, first finger stays down, pivot to G, back to E minor, and then to G. Now the next part is the bridge. Starts with a tough chord, which is F, okay? So on F, you have to completely switch, okay? Your first finger, second finger, third finger. I like to think of this as a stairway chord, because we're starting on the second string here with our first finger, and it's 1, 2, 3, one fret at a time, one string at a time, and it makes a little stairway here. Okay? The other important thing on this chord, you do not, and this is really important on this chord if you want it to sound good, you don't want to strum these low sounding strings. These two strings right here, I don't want to hear those. I want to hear these top four strings, the four higher, thinner strings. Okay? So that's what you want to hear on that F. Okay? And then to G, back to E minor, and then we'll go back to F. Again, just those top four strings on F. Top four strings, F again, then to G, back to E minor. Now, the next chord we can either play E major, which is the first chord on your sheet, or actually even a little easier than E major is E7. It's just like E major, but you take your third finger out. Okay? And there's your E7. And then to move to A minor, you take both of those fingers and you move them over one string, and we add our third finger underneath. For A minor, the first chord in the chorus, to G. This is the toughest switch from G back to F. Okay, so you may want to practice going back and forth between G and F. You're not going to be able to do it this fast, but work on just isolating that one little spot. So you've got a G chord, and you've got an F chord, back to G, back to F, go back and forth between those two. Okay? So then on the chorus we're back to G, and we start over with A minor, and back to G, and then F, and back to G, and the whole thing starts over again. Then it goes through again, it does, the verse is half the length before it goes to the bridge. Bridge is the same. The second chorus, really, the first chorus that you hit again is the same. And then you play the chorus for the third time in the song, second time in a row. And it's different. The chords are different. Instead of starting with A minor, it starts with F. In fact, it sort of does it backwards. So it starts with F, and then goes to G, and then to A minor, then back to G, and then it goes to F and it really sits there for a while. Again, make sure that you're just strumming those higher strings. You don't want to hear these lower strings underneath. You sit on that F, and then to G. And that's where the clapping breakdown happens. Okay, so the clapping breakdown sounds a little bit funny at this tempo. We're doing it so slowly. So I think that's something we're going to hold off on until later, until you guys are feeling more comfortable with this song. And then we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the ending, and we'll kind of work something out that makes sense. Okay, good luck. Practice, practice.